Right now, a lot of people are losing money in Bitcoin. Not because Bitcoin failed, but because they don't actually understand the game they're playing. And the thing you really need to know is this. Most people who lose money in Bitcoin were never really investing in the first place. They were gambling. What I'm going to do in this video is explain the real reasons people lose money in Bitcoin. Not the surface level reasons people talk about online, but the structural problems that cause investors to make bad decisions, especially when markets get volatile, like they are right now. Because once you understand this properly, Bitcoin becomes a lot easier to manage. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 biggest mistakes people make when investing in Bitcoin. First, why most people never actually define what wealth means to them in the first place. Second, why buy and hold on its own isn't enough unless it sits inside a proper financial system. And third, why the real test in Bitcoin isn't when the markets are rising, it's what happens when the price is falling, because that's where most people's plans just go out the window. So if you understand why some people build wealth with Bitcoin while others lose money doing the exact same thing, then this video will definitely be worth watching. Real quick, I'm Harvinder and I've been in Bitcoin since 2015. I work with professionals who really want to understand Bitcoin properly in order to invest in it properly. It's not about chasing hype, not about trying to get lucky, but building an investment system that works over cycles. Most people never actually define what wealth actually means to them. Tony Robbins talks about this in his course Wealth Mastery. One of the biggest reasons people never become wealthy is pretty simple. They never clearly define what wealth actually means to them. And you see, this is the exact problem with Bitcoin investors. People buy Bitcoin hoping something good happens. They hope the price continues to go up. They hope it will change their life. But hope isn't a strategy. You need clarity. For example, how much money do you actually need long term? How much income would you like your investments to generate? What time frame are you investing over? 10 years? 20 years? Without answering those questions, every price move becomes emotional because you don't know what you're aiming for. You're just pissing in the wind, so to speak. Buy and hold can work, but it has to sit inside a system. Now, most people often say the strategy is simple. You just buy Bitcoin and you hold it. And to be fair, that's a good strategy, but only when it sits inside a broader plan, because investing properly requires structure. You need to think about it. Things like position sizing. How much of your wealth goes into Bitcoin? When you add to your position, how long are you prepared to hold? Without those decisions being made to begin with, people end up reacting to price movements. And reacting to price is usually how most people lose money. People listen to the opinions of others instead of building a plan. Another issue Tony talks about is that people often give responsibility for the wealth to someone else. And in Bitcoin, this happens all the time. People follow influencers, analysts, Twitter threads, and YouTube predictions. People are looking for someone else. They're outsourcing their decisions. They want to listen to someone else. They don't want to do the research themselves, and they want to hope that they're following the right person. And the problem with this strategy is no one knows what's going to happen. That's the reality. The markets could pump, the markets could crash. And if you look at any of these price swings, you're going to find people that got it right. And then those same people, you're going to find evidence to when they got it wrong as well. So following other people is one of the worst strategies. Yeah, it's good to listen to the opinions of others and get information, but you really need to understand this stuff yourself and make up your own mind. Nobody can manage your risk except you. And nobody else knows your finances, your goals, your time frame. So that means copying someone else's opinion or strategy is never really a good strategy to begin with. Here's where Bitcoin really exposes people. When the market is pumping, everyone feels like an investor. Everyone feels like Billy Big Balls. Confidence is high. Everything feels easy. But the real test happens when the market crashes. 20%, 30%, and even more recently, 50%. And that's pretty normal for Bitcoin. This asset has always been volatile. So the question isn't whether volatility will happen. It's going to happen. The question is whether your system survives it. Because if a price drop completely changes your behavior, then the plan was never really there to begin with. And believe me, I've made all these mistakes myself. The real problem is structure. This is the key point here. Bitcoin doesn't make people lose money. Bad financial structure does. Things like investing money you might need quite soon. Position sizes that are far too large. You have no time horizon, no rules. When those problems exist, volatility becomes unbearable. People get stressed, they panic, and eventually they panic sell, usually at the worst possible time, when they've probably already lost 50% of their value. So, if someone loses money in Bitcoin, it doesn't necessarily mean Bitcoin was a mistake. You probably hear this wherever you go. People talking about how much money they've lost in Bitcoin, and you shouldn't invest in Bitcoin. It's a big scam. They just got burnt. They had no idea what they're doing, and they still don't know what they're doing. Bitcoin is a good investment if you research it the right way and you know what you're doing. And this is what I help my clients with. Some of my clients, I work with them and realize, look, Bitcoin's not for you. You just stick to stocks, stick to bonds. It's not worth it. More often, it means that the system was missing. So when the structure is right, Bitcoin becomes much easier to live with and much easier to hold through the different cycles that actually create wealth. In another video, I'm going to explain something that helps solve this problem. It's a framework I use with my clients, and it's called the money machine. It shows exactly where Bitcoin fits inside a proper wealth management plan. If you found this video useful, make sure you subscribe. I make videos every week, and I'd also be interested to hear what you think. Do you actually have a plan from Bitcoin? Do you actually have a plan for investing? Or are you still figuring it out? Let me know. And if you want to know how I help my one-on-one clients buying Bitcoin safely for the first time, especially when it comes to large amounts, I've recorded a separate video for that. The link's in the description. There's no opt-in. It's a good video. Be sure to check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.